This is Stars and Scopes with your pal Uma Ruby. Updated every new and full moon with guidance based on planetary transits in the current sky and extra support from tarot. For accuracy, do listen to your rising sign first if you know it, but do feel free to listen to your sun, moon and rising if you'd like the full picture. If you're loving this work and you've got some coins to spare, throw them in the tin over at buymeacoffee.com/Uma Ruby and you can buy me a coffee. Okay, let's drop into it. Hello Aries and Aries rising. Welcome to your horoscope for the new moon in Gemini happening on May the 30th. Now, we can put tools down for the moment. We can relax into the aftershock, the afterglow, if it was good for you, of eclipse season. I know that there's been some big seismic shifts and changes in the collective consciousness already. There's been some really big movement that's happened around this time. So it's time to take a breath, have a drink of water, and relax into a nice, normal, regular new moon in Gemini. A new moon that we can manifest and co-create with. Remember that at the new moon, when it's dark, when there's no moon in the sky, is the perfect time to use the energy that's reverberating around the planet and call it in, bring it into us, and make things happen. So, I want to talk you through some mildly difficult aspects that are happening in the astrology, but we'll get that out of the way and then we'll move into the positive stuff because there is quite a bit of it here. It's really great. So Saturn, the planet of restriction and boundaries and rules, is still in Aquarius, which is your 11th house of community and humanity, the greater collective, that kind of sense of whatever community it is that you feel that you belong to, that sort of space. So Saturn is happy in Aquarius. Saturn rules Aquarius. So that's fine. But the problem is Saturn's in a T-square with Mercury, which is at 26 degrees in Taurus, which is your second house of your talents and your skills and your ability to attract abundance and to take care of yourself. Mercury is retrograde in that house for you. So there's a push and pull and a difficult energy between the restrictions of community, what you're expected to be, perhaps in those spaces, what's expected of you, and your ability to communicate your worth and to communicate what it is that you need, your boundaries, your requirements for a comfortable and pleasurable life. So that's sort of bouncing back and forth. It's okay. Mercury will station direct, I think in June. I can't remember what date it is. I don't have it in front of me, but it's soon enough. And so then that Mercury will continue its journey around the planet, highlighting all of the different other houses that we get to look forward to. So that's the difficult aspects. The positive aspects is that the new moon is in a gentle, lovely, supportive sextile with Jupiter and Mars. They're in conjunction, so they're tied together in Aries, your first house. So remember, Jupiter is the supportive auntie. She's the planet that just expands everything that she's near. She zooms in, she makes it grow. Jupiter's really, it's a planet of good fortune, if you think about it in those terms. So for Jupiter to be in a tight conjunction with Mars, your planetary ruler, I'll put it that way, the warrior, the one with the match, the one that's going to start the fire, the one that's going to move forward and get this done. So Jupiter's expanding that energy for you in your first house. So if you're in Aries rising, that's your soul purpose. That's your base note of who it is, what you're here to do in this incarnation. If you're an Aries sun, that's your identity. That's your very face, how you best operate in this world, how you move forward and how you can relate and exchange with other people. You'll be seen as an Aries energy if you're an Aries sun. This is all really great. The tarot card that lines up with 3-4 degrees of Aries where this is happening is the Two of Wands, which is quite literally Mars in Aries. It's the Mars in Aries card of the tarot. This is the action plan. This is the looking out into the distance and seeing it and making the plan to move ahead and get what it is that you want to get what it is that you need, And this is bouncing back to the new moon. Gemini rules your house of communication, of the village, of your brothers and sisters potentially, but it's the way that you articulate your intellect, how you pass knowledge forward, also how you tell the truth and how you interrelate with people. What language do you speak, Aries, is what the third house asks. So this is the time, the new moon is the time to call in the skills that you want to work on, or call in the direct lines of communication that you wish for in order to achieve what it is that you want to move forward with. So while Mercury is retrograde, while it's a clunky-ish time, maybe a time of misunderstanding in communication, call in that ability, call in that skill. Think about the Geminis in your life and how good they are at talking things over, whether that be their emotions or, they talk about anything really. They'll talk your ear off. So that's what we want to harness. That's the part of our lives that we want to manifest with this new moon, our ability to be understood and to be heard. So the tarot card that lines up with 9 degrees of Gemini, which is where the new moon takes place, is the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords talks to me of restriction. It talks about a mental cage, in a sense, of too many conflicting thoughts or too many truths or worries or concerns or losses or sadnesses, whatever it is. But there's a rumination in the 8 of Swords. There is a restriction and a cage. You're in jail sometimes in your own head with the 8 of Swords. So maybe a potentially worrying energy, but with a new moon involved, the perfect time to move on from that, to recognize, maybe jot down, journal what these thoughts, these truths, these terrors are, write them down, and use this new moon to move forward from this space, to articulate, to say what you mean and mean what you say. That's your goal for this new moon, Aries. So that's what's happening in the sky. That's the planets speaking. From a separate deck, I also pulled a more intuitive reading to see if we can somehow align these messages with what's going on with the sky. So for Aries, the base note, the back of the deck energy I got is the 3 of Cups, which is a grand celebration. It's an emotional reconnection, a reconciliation, a coming together, a sisterhood. If there's the picture on the 3 of Cups is a beautiful image of 3 folks with doing a cheers, coming together, celebrating after a time away perhaps, or, coming together to work with each other's powers and vibe off each other. So that's the base note of this reading. This could be great. There could be some in your communications zone. There could be some reconciliations or some advice or some kind words that come to you in this space that you call in that will help you on, help you journey further. Then I got for you the Empress, the 7 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. So this is incredible, good stuff. Pentacles is earth energy. Pentacles is tangible resources. The Empress is a Taurian energy. The Empress is the 3rd card in the major arcana, the major secrets of the tarot. She is the goddess on the mountaintop. I think I've spoken to many of you about this before because the Empress is such a beautiful, juicy card. The Empress has all that she needs. She has all the wisdom of growth and of nature. She's Mother Nature. She's the lover. She's everything embodied in this energy, this beautiful, regenerative, restorative space. She's, you know what she is? I have got to look it up because I'm painting the tarot and I think I might have found my Empress. I think I might paint Nigella Lawson as the Empress. Oh, that'd be good. That's a side note. Anyway, but think of Nigella. Think of the bounty that Nigella presents to all of us. Think of her sensuality and her capability and also her grace in the face of any trouble. I'm sensing that you might be in a space of lack mentality, and it doesn't have to be so literal, but there is this feeling of kind of, it's like what was happening during the eclipses, that sort of looking at the crop, thinking to yourself, oh gosh, I've planted the seeds, I've done everything, I've watered, I've tilled the soil. Is anything going to grow from this? What's going to happen here? Well, I can tell you that there is going to be some great prosperity coming your way. It's slow-moving energy. The Knight of Pentacles is a slow-moving energy. There is a message here for you that's going to either come from somebody, or potentially this might be you, Aries. This might be you with the message that has been taking this time to think over in your head time and again, what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? What's going to happen? Am I going to apply for this job, perhaps? Or am I, whatever it is that this is about, to get to Empress energy, to get to that mothership, to get to Nigella's kitchen, I can tell you that this is all triangulating into a beautiful Three of Cups, a reconciliation. And the three in the third house, the Gemini house, it's all coming together. So this is a really great reading for you, Aries. I'm really proud of you. And it all does center around your third house of communication. Say what you mean and mean what you say, Aries. Okay, that's your reading for this one. Do head over to buymeacoffee.com/Uma Ruby if you'd like to give me a little tip. It'd be much appreciated. Other than that, I won't be seeing you, I'll be speaking to you. I think that I have not filmed a pick a card. I don't think I have the strength to do it this lunation. I was going to, but Mercury Retrograde is clogging up my communication styles. And I've been getting my wires quite crossed and not having enough time to do everything that I need to do. So there's that. Happens to all of us. Anyhow, I'll be speaking to you at the Sagittarius full moon in 2 weeks from now. So until then, new moon blessings, all of my love. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Ta-da.